Hi there guys, welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Challenger 570. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, we have your black hitch head here and black lever that you have to have pulled up like so to then be able to wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow ball, causing that handle to snap down like so, pushing up that red button and exposing a green ring. You then have your breakaway cable just here. Now the gravity states if you have an eye point, it has to be used. If not, wrap it around the tow bar. Handbrakes just here to disengage, press down, and to engage, flick up. Now they can come up with a fair bit of force, so make sure your head isn't in the way. The caravan is fitted with 13-pin electric, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation on your car, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. Jockey wheel here used to level the caravan, and you have this handle here to twist it away from you to then be able to pull it up whilst you're travelling. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or alternatively you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs, they're simply used for stabilisation. Now we're using our test equipment today here. So I have a red propane gas bottle. I'd always recommend propane over butane as it has a better performance in winter. Connected onto that, we have a black gas hose. Black gas hoses will run for 5 years. That connects onto this regulator just here. What you need to do is hand tighten that as much as you physically can and nip it up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight as there is an O-ring inside the hose. Too much pressure on that can cause it to crack and break. This is also what's called a duo control, so you have to switch this so that the little tab there is facing the position of the gas bottle you're wanting to use. Coming along this side, first up we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler when operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. We then have my test stack roll full of clean drinking water and your water pump. Now this works on a trigger system for removing it, so you have to press in on the trigger and pull out. I would recommend occasionally lubricating these seals just so it's nice and easy to pull in and out. You have this blue cap to go over the top of the ack roll to ensure no nastiness gets in. Then at the bottom we have your strainer. It's crucial that the strainer sits at the absolute bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through. If it doesn't, you may get an airlock. And then to just engage it in, press in nice and gently. We then have your battery locker. This example doesn't have a battery fitted, however when you come to fit one, it's a 12 or 13mm spanner. You also have your plug-in for your mains just here. Mains plugs in nice and simple, and you also have a bit of a cutout to be able to feed it through. 2 points here is where your wastewater from both your shower and your sink is going to come from. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. And lastly, we have your toilet function. So you have your flush tank up here. Flush tank has a capacity to hold around 12 litres of water. However, I won't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You can also add some pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive. However, you need less than a capful because otherwise it can clog the system. Then just here we have your cassette toilet. Now to remove this, press up on the orange handle, pull out towards you. Now this handle does also extend out and up, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. When you're at the appropriate point on site, what you'll want to do is twist this head to the side, open up this cap like so. You'll then want to pick it up, tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing that vent button. My recommendation after you've done that is to slide open this compartment, feed in some fresh water, give it a shake, and again tilt and vent just so it's a bit more fresh. Then on this cap you have measurements of both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, twist the head back to the side, and then want to push the cassette in so the orange handle sits behind those white teeth, as then it's not going to jump around. Now, don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here you've got a little bung to drain off any remaining water before you travel. The caravan will be fully drained off before you collect it. Then underneath your right hand side seat you have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything under here. This here is your boiler, which you can expose by opening that bit up. Now the boiler has a series of blue tubes leading into it, which is where the water is carried. But you also have that yellow drain valve. Now when you collect the caravan, that is going to be in the upright position, which is the drain mode. November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and anytime you come off site, give the caravan a drain off as well. And then when you're just wanting to use it, flick it down. It can be flicked down either way. You have flow jets here, which is what's going to pull through the water into the actual boiler. This white box is the back of your battery box. You then have your battery charger just here, your fuses and your trips. I'd always recommend carrying some extra fuses across the caravan. Spare heating and hot water and charger, all illuminated, showing that they're all working. And you then have a reverse polarity button just there if you ever go abroad, and you also have a complete system shutdown button. Press that in, nothing inside the caravan is able to operate. Now if you do need some more information on your trips and fuses, you can pull down this panel and it gives you a bit more info. Here we have the main control panel, so you have your main power on and off button, shows mains is coming into the van. If it was plugged into the car, it would then show that part lit. You can view levels of either the leisure battery or vehicle battery by individually pressing in on them, or pressing view levels, where right now you can see 14 volts are coming in. That is not from the leisure battery itself because I'm plugged into mains. You then have your pump button just here, which you press in. Green light will come on to show that water is being pulled through and pressurized into the system. Super simple to use. Power, levels, pump. And then turning it off, just press in. Just here we have your idle control panel, so to turn this on, press in on the button just there. You'll then come to this screen where it tells you the internal temperature, which is currently 28 degrees. Press in on menu and you come to this screen. So first up, we have the internal temperature of the caravan that you desire. This goes up to a maximum of 30, and then you can just either individually tap or you can press and hold to make it go down or up. You then have the water temperature, which is either off as it is now, midway, which will get the water temperature to around about 40 to 50 degrees, or full. Now what full does, it prioritizes the water over the actual caravan itself, and that lasts for about 30 minutes. After those 30 minutes, it will then drop it back down to midway. You then have your energy sources, so you can either use 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of mains. Now do be aware that not all sites have 3 kilowatt capacity, especially if it's rather busy. Or you can use gas, or you can use a mixture of gas and 1, 2 and 3. So you've got the choice of gas, mains or both. Settings is on the cog, which I'm not going to run through as we have set this to what we believe the most user-friendly panel to use. However, if you'd like to have a look inside your book packs, please do so. Now, with this will gently fade off when not interacted with in about 5 minutes, but when you want the heating completely off, pressing on the button just there. Now, here you can see the water. This is a nice, steady, continuous stream. I've got the water pump button on just there. And what is happening is that the water is coming out of here, and the water that's coming out of the boiler is being replaced back in. So anytime you open up the tap, and as long as you've got the pump button open, it will come through there. Now it may be a case when you first come to use it, you get a couple of air locks, but if that continues, check your drain valve, check your pump and check your Acrol. Just make sure that all of them are in the correct place. Now when you've had enough, I recommend about 30 seconds to just pull it through, shut it down there. You'll hear water to come in to the boiler, but when you come to drain off, turn off the pump first and then come to your drain valve and open it up, because if you just drain valve and then pump, you're going to get more air in the system. And just here we have your hob grill and oven, all of which operates on gas minus the electric plate. for the electric plate, spin to whatever mark, and it will get to temperature. Everything else you have to press in on the dial, twist it to the side, and press in on your igniter. Now it may be a case when you first come to light it that they will light up and then cut off, or they may take a while to actually light. But that's completely natural. That's the gas making its way through the system. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. All nice and lit on the hob. And turn it off. There you go. Same concept for your grill. As you can see, grill all nice and lit. And finally, your oven. Now for your oven as well, make sure that these trays do not intrude on the igniter, as otherwise they won't light properly. And there you go. You can see that's all nice and lit there. Sometimes you do just have to softly release the knob itself. Only other thing to note is that you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all burners are cold to the touch. If you're traveling with a gas bottle, make sure the bottle itself is off. We then have your fridge operation here. So to turn the fridge on, press and hold in on this leftmost button. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case is mains. You'll see inside that it's blue light. You have the choice of mains, gas. Now for gas, I'd recommend running through your hob, grill and oven first. You may gently hear it tick in, but you don't have to do anything. It's all automatic. So you can hear it ticking in now, and then it will light itself. Now the last bit here is this battery symbol. Now the battery itself is only representative of 13 pin electric whilst towing. So when I press it in now, it's going to flash up with a hazard. So that's only whilst towing. So you can then see the amount of power, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. However, even on full capacity, it will take around 4 hours to fully chill. Then to turn this off, press and hold in. No more lights on inside either. Then here we have your toilet operation. Press in the button and you can hear that motor. That motor is what would push through any water across the system. To remove your waste, press away on that handle to open up the catch and pull it back towards you so that you're actually able to remove the cassette. When the cassette is full, there'll be a red light on there telling you to empty.